For all I've learned about the evolution of the antique singing bowls over several centuries, by examining thousands of bowls and other bronze objects, working with lab experts, museum experts, and university experts, traveling and working in 10 countries to put together the history of the singing bowls over 25 years, there's still a big mystery, a big unknown, which is the people who made the bowls and their lives and how they were connected. Because I can see connections in the bowls themselves. I can see that one style of bowl was likely made in a different workshop than another style of bowl because there are distinct differences. Just like I can see that two bowls were probably made in the same workshop because there are real similarities. How remote those shops were from each other in space and time is unknown. Were they all made in one town, in one center? Were they all made by one workshop, just continuously over time, shifting styles with each few generations? Or were there competing workshops at the same time, making a similar but distinctive product? That's the most likely because that's what we see today, and that's the tradition with other handicrafts. And it seems to mirror what we see in the bowls. So I see a decorative motif like the circles and the dots on different bowls. They're actually different circles. They're different size. This has got a smaller circle. That's a later bowl also. It's a larger circle. So it wasn't made with the same tool. So was it made in the same workshop by the same family and they just made new tools successively, or were they made in two different workshops? These are the kind of details about the people and the making of the bowls that are lost, that they'll never be known because we can't go back the 500-800 years in time to know how things were structured, and there's no remnant of those makers today. There are the makers alive today, and we can see what they're doing, and just like anthropologists do, make some connections between how they operate today, how they make the bowls, how they sell the bowls, and so on, and make some assumptions about how they did it historically. But we may never ever know the whole story because we're missing the details of the lives of the people who made these wonderful objects. And I think about it a lot because when I look at these objects, I think, how do you do that? How did someone actually do it? I would love to make singing bowls myself, and I've thought about it many times over the years, either setting up forge myself, or I've tried actually to work with a lot of metal workers over the years, and it's a very difficult thing to make. No one has taken it on, other than the workers in Nepal who still make them. But to make one of these things is a real stunning, almost magical act. It, in my opinion, is the real alchemy, because bronze, when it's polished, this was polished 20 years ago. I polished this bowl. It's one of my bowls from my concert set. You can tell by the Velcro. It's a trick I learned from Karma Moffitt. And this is a bowl I've had for many years, and I polished just a few bowls. I may have another here. This one was also polished 20 years ago. So bronze is the real alchemy because they took other metals and made it look like gold. That's really what they did. And when these are polished, they look like gold. This is dull compared to what they really look like when they're fully polished, even though that already looks very bright. And I've debated with some others, like this one would look extremely beautiful polished. It would be hard to polish because of all the little areas, and it may add a little extra wear to the engravings, and it would damage the antique patina and so on. So I'm not actually going to polish it, but it would look very, very, very beautiful. So they were the alchemists and the magicians who forged these by hand with this amazing secret technique that maybe after hundreds of years, I'm the first person to figure out how they folded the bowls around the rim. And that's a lost art. No one knows how they did it. No one has reproduced it. I figured it out that that's how they were made just by examining them and by working with professionals to understand more about it. And there's nothing else like them. It's really a special little piece of human history. We've got the best examples that were ever made here with me in the Singing Bowl Museum. I painstakingly collected each one by one. I hand selected each one, making sure it's a genuine antique, in very good condition, with great sonic qualities, with a smooth vibration that you feel, with beautiful internal harmony, nice tuning. And they all have their own unique qualities. That's another from my own set. So you won't see that one anytime soon for sale at Singing Bowl Museum. But you can find other real treasures like this one and others. This is set 02. If you look closely at the engravings, they're the only two bowls like that I ever found. And they happen to be tuned both to E, like near perfect tuning on different octaves. So more to come. That's just a little glimpse at the magic of antique singing bowls.